Welcome to Children's Church. Today we're talking about something called the Beatitudes. Now, I remember hearing about that when I was in Sunday school. I remember my Sunday school teacher said, it's the Beatitudes, the attitudes that you should be. Well, it's not quite what the word means. It means to be abundantly filled with joy, to be super happy, to be richly blessed. And that actually comes from Matthew chapter 5. See, in Matthew chapter 5, we pick up where Jesus and the disciples are together. He's got his 12 closest followers, but there's a whole crowd of people in addition who are trying to hear everything that Jesus would say. So what Jesus did is he climbed up on the side of this hillside, of this mountainside, and kind of found a flat spot, and he sat down so he could teach his closest followers. And everyone else was like, shh, 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 listen, listen, listen. And so what would Jesus say? And Jesus was trying to explain to his 12 closest followers what someone who follows him should live like and why they should do that. And he started by saying, blessed are those who are poor in spirit, because they will receive the kingdom of heaven. See, someone who's poor in spirit is humble. They're not going around saying, oh, I am so righteous. I'm so proud of my righteousness. The poor in spirit, they know that they don't have it all, but they wish that they did. They're searching always, but they're not trying to lord it over other people. And Jesus said, those people will be blessed. They'll be happy. They'll be filled with joy. He said, blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. The people who are brokenhearted for the sin of those around them, the people who are hurting. Blessed are those who are meek, for they will inherit the earth. Now, meek doesn't mean weak. I mean, it sounds a lot like it, but it's very different. The world tries to kind of make meek sound like kind of a pathetic, weakling little thing. But meek is very different. What Jesus was talking about when he was referring to meek is someone who's very powerful, someone who has the ability to deal with a situation. And they choose intentionally to stay calm and under control, even when someone is trying to provoke them. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Calm, under control, not losing their temper. Jesus said they will inherit the earth. Jesus said, blessed are those who hunger and thirst after righteousness. They will be filled. The people who are always saying, I want more of God. I want to be more like God. Jesus said, blessed are those who are merciful, for they will receive mercy in return. Jesus said, blessed are those who are pure in their heart, for they will see God. That's pretty special. Jesus said, blessed are those who are peacemakers, the people who are always trying to keep things peaceful, for they will be called sons of God. And blessed are you, he said, when you are persecuted for being righteous, for doing things that are right, for you will receive the kingdom of heaven. He went on to say, blessed are you when people insult you, when they exclude you, when they pick on you, when they say horrible things about you, when they show hate to you because of me, he said. As a matter of fact, he went so far as to say, when those things happen, you should rejoice, you should leap for joy, because, he said, your reward in heaven is going to be amazingly great, because that's the same way they treated the prophets who came before you, the ones who got entrusted to show his love and his life and his light to the world. And then Jesus turned it a little bit and said, but woe, woe means, uh-oh, big trouble. Woe to the people who are rich now, because they've already got their comfort. They got it now instead of when they're going to need it. He said, woe to those who are well fed. They're going to go hungry. He said, woe to the people who laugh now all the time. Ha, life is so wonderful, because they will weep and mourn. He said, woe to those who everyone always says good things about them, because that's how they treated the false prophets who came before. Jesus said, you are supposed to be the salt of the earth. Something that preserves, something that gives flavor, something that brings life and keeps things in good shape. He says, but if your salt is so impure that it's lost its salty flavor, it's no good for anything except for just to be thrown on the ground as dust suppressant or traction control, I suppose, to be trodden on by everyone. And he said, you know, when someone takes a light and they light a lamp, he said, that should remind you that you are the light of the world. He said, nobody takes a lamp and then puts a big bowl over it. Nobody saw that, did they? He said, well, what's the point of that? If you light a lamp and then cover it with a big bowl or a big basket, it doesn't give any light to the house. He said, no, instead you put it on a lampstand. They would light a little lamp that had olive oil in it and a wick that came up, and they'd light it. And to make it look even brighter, they would put it on a stand. And if you were really wealthy, you would have a stand with like a mirror or polished metal behind it, so it would just reflect out and fill the whole area with light. Jesus said, in the same way, you're like a city that's up on a hill. You can't hide it. Everyone can see it up there. And if you're in a city on a hill at night and someone lights up a lamp and puts it up on a lampstand and you can see that light shining through the window, well, people can see that for miles and miles. And you know, that's what we're supposed to be like. Jesus told his disciples, let your light so shine before men that they would see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven. And that's the end of our story. The Beatitudes. The things that were blessings and some things that Jesus said, watch out for people who think that they've got it all made apart from God. They don't want more of God. They're rich and happy and laughing and full. And what are we supposed to be like? Go back and listen one more time, and we'll go through our questions today. Okay? I'll wait for you. Okay, our first question. What do you like about this story? Jesus talking about the blessings and things to watch out for. What did you like about that? And I suppose the next important question to ask is, what did you not like about it? What displeased you? What does this story, Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, the Beatitudes, what does this tell us about people? What people can be like? I guess there's many different things, doesn't it? Pick one. What does it tell us about people? What does this story tell us about God? What God is like? And by extension, what he wants us to be like. So, what should I do differently because of this story? Now remember, this one should be answered, I should something. And finally, who should I tell this story to? Now remember, it has to be a person and not someone who's just listening right next to you. Who should I tell this story to? Well, I look forward to seeing your answers down in the comments field, and I look forward to you joining us next week for another Children's Church.